Hello, everyone, and welcome to KR Success Coaching. Welcome to our weekly webinar. We're so happy that you are joining us. And while we wait for just a couple of other folks to join us live on Facebook, weekly webinar. We're so happy that you are joining us. And while we wait for just a couple of other folks to join us, I've got a lot of feedback. Type into the chat section down below what city you're joining us from. And if you are joining us from another country, let us know where that is as well. I'm looking for that chat. There we go. So
all right, we have Anya Gerstenberg.
Awesome.
Where are you joining us from, Anya? We have Sally Sautel Patty, kind of a familiar last name. We have Barbara Joven. Yes, Century 21 Showcase in the house.
Hello, Barbara.
We have Gina Marie joining us from Los Angeles. What's up, Gina? Gina, how's it going, Gina? And we have Joy Cooper Willette. Welcome, everybody, to the amazing Thursday night. Transform your life, achieve greater results, make more money, learn how to be a master of yourself, a master of communication. I'm super excited. I'm going to spotlight myself right now real quick so I can show you this gorgeous view behind me. Yes, there you go. By the way, this, as you may know, is the Golden Gate Bridge. And why do we share the Golden Gate Bridge? Well, specifically because imagine if this is our point A in our life, right? And imagine from our point A, if what we want to do is we want to get to our point B, which is right about here, right? In order to get across to our goals, to set goals and actually achieve our goals, we got to find the bridge. And the other thing too, which is what today is going to be about, please acknowledge Sean Arnold for welcoming all of you. And Sean is going to be actually, if you saw in our last webinar, she shared some amazing insights into achieving goals, how we set goals and how we achieve our goals. The other important thing about this bridge is the fact that we can learn the bridge of effective communication. Now, how many of us would like to be a master communicator, right? So I want you to go ahead and type in here. By the way, welcome, Francisco Williams. What's up, Francisco? One of our graduates. Welcome, Armand, where are you from? Guys, I want you to say what's your name and what city you're from so we can welcome you. Francisco, I know is locally. Jeff Byrne, Barbara Joven, aloha. Anya Gerstenberg from San Diego. Welcome. All right, so I'm going to just continue welcoming you guys to this amazing Thursday night. So my last thought I was talking about, which is the bridge of effective communication. How many of us would like to learn the bridge and how to speak into people's listening, right? How to influence people, how to get people to take action, how to make more money, how to turn no's into yeses in your life and in your business, how to turn yeses to even bigger yeses so that you can make the amount of money that you want to make. And then obviously also how to be, the best, most effective communicator, right? How to inspire people to take action right now in the present moment. So that's what today's lesson's about. I'm going to start up my slides so that you can see, we have people that are visual, right? This is the reason why we're doing this. And we're also doing this because, as you guys know, we train all the Fortune 500 companies, companies like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Century 21, Keller Williams, New York Life. Actually, New York Life had their biggest quarter in history right after our training. We've also trained the #1 Century 21 office, and then a bunch of other Century 21 offices. We also work with the mayor's office, doing leadership trainings for the mayor's office and conflict resolution trainings as well. So that being said, the philanthropic side, we also work with veterans that suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So we're up to some very big things. And the purpose of this, if you're joining us for the first time, is that we train these companies, and we want to make what we teach available to everybody from all over the world. And no better a time than today to use this amazing thing called technology. We are in the technology age, and how blessed are we to be able to use technology to reach you in your living room or at your office. So we welcome you. We're excited. Thank you for joining us. So Joy Cooper from Newport Beach, welcome to the call. Sean is in Palos Verdes, California. Awesome. I'm still waiting for a response from Armand. I'm curious. I see a private jet behind him in his profile picture. He's probably joining us from Dubai or something. All right. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to share my screen real briefly. And I want you to meet our esteemed panelists. Okay. We've got Jeff McGrail, all right, attorney, success NLP coach. We have Sean Arnold. We've got Dave Patty. We've got Veronica Larea, and we got Jeff Stoffel. Jeff and Sean, both attorneys, success NLP master coaches. You heard from Sean last week in her amazing training. Dave Patty, a top producer in real estate from the Century 21 Showcase. Veronica Larea, owner of Excellence Real Estate in the city of La Habra. Very good place to be, by the way. And then Jeff Stoffel, an amazing man, owner of Century 21 Showcase in Highland. So we have an event coming up, which is December 9 and 10 in the city of Los Angeles, where you get to learn and master success, NLP, sales and leadership mastery, and shall I say, so much more. As you think of NLP, or you may or may not have heard of NLP, Tony Robbins is a person that teaches and uses quite a bit of it. What we do is we take people behind the scenes and teach people how to do it, because it's kind of almost, it's so powerful. One could look at it as almost magical, what you can do, how you can transform your life. And what we like to do is we like to pull back that curtain of that magic so that you can actually see how all these things are done, how lives are transformed, how you can transform your life, transform other people's life. For what purpose? Mostly because most people want to become more successful, make more money, get more clients, and be more successful in their business. So in a moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce our first amazing success NLP master coach to begin today's lesson. Today's lesson, as you guys can see, is the 10 steps to influence and effective communication. Now, I'm going to ask you why. Why would we want to learn the 10 steps to influence and effective communication? We talked about this earlier, right? We talked about how powerful would it be for you to be able to be a master influencer, for you to be able to influence yourself, to take massive action and create success in your life, for you to be able to influence others, for you to be able to influence people in your social circle. Remember, the people that surround us have a very big effect on our psyche, on our behavior, on our results. And if you were to be able to actually influence your circle of influence so that they could step up their game and go even higher, guess what? They could actually in turn influence you and bring you up higher. So it's really about taking everybody even higher. Also, effective communication, learning how to be an effective communicator. So we're about to jump right into the 10 steps. Now, what I'd like for you guys to do is share, right? So I'm going to go to my wall, and I'm going to take this because we're going to share some powerful lessons right now. Copy link, and I'm going to go and share it to a couple other groups. And what I'd like for you to do is do the same so that your whole community can get this education, this powerful stuff. All right? Okay. So the first coach that I'm going to introduce is Mr. Amazing, Incredible, top producer, Dave Patty. And Dave certainly has an amazing story. I'm going to take myself off spotlight so you can probably see all the speaker presenters, or maybe you'll see him as soon as I spotlight him. So Dave Patty is top producer of Century 21 Showcase, and he's going to guide us through the first 4 steps. It's actually step 1, step 2, step 3A, and 3B. And now I'm going to spotlight him. Turning it over to you, Dave. And now you're spotlighted, Dave. Go for it.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. I love to share this. And so I'm happy to start you out on the steps of effective communication. When you come to the class, you're going to learn, they'll train you on how to do the 10 steps to influence and effective communication. And the influence is really great because you'll meet people, or I meet people that are maybe in a stuck state and they say, geez, Dave, I'm really scared to do this. And knowing how to guide them through this process makes it real easy for them. And at the end, I get a lot of, oh, Dave, we're so glad you were here. And it was so great to do this with you. You just made it really easy on me. And effective communication, you know, I didn't really realize that there was such a thing. I thought it was, I had my way, and I thought that's what everybody had. And in my path through life, I would stumble across people that I'd go, gosh, when I finished talking to them, I go, man, I don't understand what happened there. I don't think I made any connection at all. And so understanding how to communicate effectively with everyone is just a gold mine for you. If you're in the craft of selling any way whatsoever, if you're whatever it is, you're in sales of some kind, you're communicating with people. This is a great thing to learn. You're going to learn, the first step that you're going to learn is how to set the stage. And that kind of sounds simple. And I thought about, I get a mental picture when they say that as, you know, people carrying set things on and off of a stage. Jeff McGrail, he has a lot of that. I think of him and him setting up stages and things. But what we're really talking about here is setting the stage of your mind and your heart and your body and your soul so that you will take and perform at a very high level when you want to. It's great when you go out and it happens by accident. But this is something that you can learn to do on purpose. You can see yourself as the expert. Set yourself up to win. This is a tremendous thing. You don't realize how many times that you go into something and these negative thoughts you're having are impacting you. You're not setting yourself up to win up front and in advance. That is definitely one of the first things that changed my life in real estate. You know, I've done. It has taken me to new heights that I just can't, I won't even explain right here. But also it says to give respect, to earn respect. And that's one of life lessons. I'm sure we've all heard that before, but we take another look at that, how you can really do that and make a deep connection with people. And so this is a fabulous way to do this. Now you're also going to learn how to evoke the appropriate state within you. Observe your state and evoke the appropriate state to create the results you want. And, you know, the examples here are the being resourceful, enthusiastic, powerful, those type of things. This is, you have the ability to create this on demand. I know that I was having a transaction where I was representing the buyer and the seller was having a lot of difficulties. And I remember going by my broker's office and saying, geez, Jeff, the sellers are really having some difficulties here. And I don't know what to do. Their agent's not around. I'm going to be, taking this to the end. And he said, where's resourceful, Dave? And I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars that's made me to be able to take and do that. When I come across situations in real estate, and we always do, that the sellers moved out and you find out for some weird reason that the loan's not going to go through on the day before it was supposed to close. You know, on those situations in the past, I just wanted to crawl under the bed, crawl into the rock and go home. And it was hard to bring myself to get over it. But now I ask myself, where's resourceful, Dave? And what that does is that puts me in a state of being able to think about the answers and things. And in a recent time, I'd had a seller that was moving out of her condo because she's having an operation, and it fell through the day she was supposed to have her operation. It was the day before it closed. The HOA came back and said they didn't have something that the lender needed. And I just thought to myself, oh my God, what am I going to do here? And what I did was I activated that resource anchor, and I put myself, where's resourceful, Dave? And what that did is that got me to talking to the people that needed to be talked to. I talked to the lender as to why this was going on, and I talked to the seller. And ultimately it came out very good. And I know that everybody was happy because I was able to get on it instantly. And so knowing the appropriate state is a fabulous thing. How would you like to go into a state where things are chaos and you can take and say, no, I'm going to be empowered. I'm going to be resourceful. I'm going to stay in peace and harmony. That will take, and you'll be able to respond to the situation as opposed to reacting to it. And so this is a very big one right here. This is going to be a great thing to learn right here. It's changed my life right there. We're also going to teach you how to connect and establish deep rapport. And gosh, this is a big one for most everybody we've ever seen in the classroom, finding out exactly what that is and exactly how it works. Because in the past, I would connect deeply in rapport. I would connect to where I could get people to do what I wanted to do. When I said it was time to do something, they did what I want. But I didn't know what that deep rapport was. I did not realize how I got there and how to do it on demand. And so it was a hit and miss thing for me. Sometimes I felt like I was in very deep rapport and I could guide and lead, and we did what we needed to do. And the other times I felt like I was out of that and I didn't know how to make that connection. When you're in that deep rapport and you can talk to the seller and say, come on, it's time for us to go ahead and sign the contract and get things done. And they'll follow you. That's a powerful time. Understand that time. Use that time to your advantage. Use that time to help them through the things they need to do. You're also going to learn sensory acuity. This is fabulous. This is something you use in your entire life, not just at work, and understand what it means when the tonality in the skin changes and when the sensory acuity picks up those things. When you look at the eyes and when they're looking in certain directions, we're going to tell you what that means and how to use that. Also, you're going to learn that people unconsciously think these three things. The first one is, can I trust you? The second one is, do you have our or my best interest in mind? And third is, will you deliver what you promised on time? And that is critical. That we will teach you how to address these individual issues and to take and do things that build trust, that show people that you have their best interest, to take and speak to them in their primary representation system, and they will feel what they need to feel there. And so we're also going to take and teach you how to speak into the other person's listening. And this one is so big because when you're out with visual people, you really want to talk about pictures. You want to talk about vision. You want to talk about sights. You want to talk about clear and cloudy, and you want to use those visual terms. And when you're out with an auditory person, you want to talk about the sounds. You want to tell them, what are you hearing? What does this sound like to you? And what I do specifically here is we will teach you how to tell the different systems right away. And you're going to know right away. So when you're with a client and you can tell they're visual, they're exhibiting those visual characteristics, you'll be able to say, what does this look like to you? What do you see here? And when you're sending messages through the phone, you'll know to send them pictures. You just say, we're out yesterday looking at houses, and today I'm just going to send you some pictures of other homes. Show them, send them pictures, give them that. When they're auditory, I mean, anybody that's met my wife, when you talk to her, you'll see her eyes flash back and forth. That's her brain listening so hard that each ear is, which one am I hearing you the best from? But when you see that, you can just talk to them right there. And you can say, how does this sound to you? I'm doing this because of this. You can connect with them in a super deep level. You're also going to learn their motivation strategies. My God, strategies are a sequence of events that take someone to an outcome or to no outcome at all. And so knowing somebody's motivation strategy, how will that help you in your business? How much money will that make you? It made me a fortune. Someone's decision strategy, that is incredible. everyone comes to the class, the one thing they want is that buying strategy. How can I tell what the buyer wants? This one has saved me a lot of time, a lot of money, because when you know somebody's buying strategy, and maybe it's the time to work with them, maybe it isn't. My sister-in-law has a convincer of 10. So when someone were to take her out to sell her house, she needs to see 10 homes to pick one. When you do these things, when you understand their strategy, you'll know when it's time to take and maybe pass somebody off, or to deal with their strategy specifically. Knowing that they have 3, then you take them out and show them 3 houses. Their selling strategy. These are fabulous. I hope that you come. I hope that you, if you have any questions, I'd love to hear them, and I hope to see you there. Kaya, I'll turn this over to you.
Yes, absolutely. For those of you that have questions for Dave Patty, I'm gonna unspotlight Dave just for a moment here. All right, for those of you that have questions for Dave Patty and what he just shared, absolutely. Go ahead and type in the comment section at Dave, and type up your question. So we've already covered 1, 2, 3A and 3B. So it's actually, when you think about it, it's 4 steps, right? So how to set the stage, right? Number 2, how to invoke the state. Number 3, right? Speaking into people's listening, which is basically the one he just covered here, and how to create deep rapport. So those are hugely important. So my question to you before we get into items number 4, 5, and 6 is, how much money would this put in your pocket, in your checking account, if you were to leverage those things? How much more successful would that make you, and how much more money? Typically, Veronica Larea and I, when we go into Center 21, Remax, New York Life, B of A, we talk about this. Veronica basically asks people to put a $sign next to each one of these skill sets. Now, if you put a $sign next to each one of these skill sets, and you ask yourself, if I master this one skill set in the next 3 months, next 90 days, what is that going to do to my results and the amount of money I make? So that's what this conversation is about. So from the first, 1, 2, 3, A and B, go ahead and type in the comments which one you find that you like the most.
Which one is it?
That you like the most. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to keep track of who likes which step most. All right. Okay. If you like step 1, drop a heart and 1 for set the stage. If you like step 2 and you think you can improve and make step 2 better, invoke the state, drop a 2 and a heart. If it's step 3A, 3B, just let us know which ones you guys like. All right. Welcoming Cindy. Miraca Mali just joined us as well. Welcome, Cindy. All right. I'm now going to turn it over to Ms. Veronica Larea. I'm going to unmute her, and she's going to share with us steps 4 to steps 6, I believe.
6.
Awesome.
So who here would like to learn how to ask the right questions? The right questions that the clients can actually say yes. So the client can actually talk themselves into doing business with you, instead of us telling them what to do. It's like pulling them to do business with you. But if you say it, then it's true. But if I tell you what to do, then you might not be receptive, right? But when you tell yourself, you actually convince yourself to do something that maybe you were not sure. But when you inspire and you ask the right questions, it's a different way of doing the transaction. So who would like to know the power of questions? In our academy, we actually give you a set of questions, the powerful questions that can actually elicit what's most important to them, such as the values, the wants, the needs, the emotions, and the criteria. So imagine that you're trying to give someone a high five, right? And we're trying to do this, trying to build rapport, trying to build a relationship with the client, right? But one more time, let's do this exercise. How about the possibility of you are the professional, here's the client, and every time you ask the right question, you're actually eliciting their wants, their needs, their values, emotions, and criteria. So what do we have at the end result every time we have a conversation with our clients is this. All these 5 things are most important to the client. And then what if I anchor myself to this client? Like, I'm gonna meet your needs. I'm gonna take care of your values. And most importantly, the criteria. So look at this. We're like very tight. So even if I leave, so I'm gonna pretend that this is the homeowner or the seller, and I'll just walk away. What happens is, because I'm anchored to the client, it doesn't matter if I walk away and then we have the competition coming in here. The client is going to remember me. Whatever it is that I said that I anchored, it will be anchored so deeply that the actual client will say, thank you, but I have my own real estate agent, or I have my own lender. Powerful stuff, right? How many of you guys would like to learn the right questions to actually build this rapport, this type of relationship where it's loyalty and anchors? So number 5, who would like to learn how to set pre-frames and frames? Now, what's a frame? People make decisions through frames. So sometimes the majority of clients are going to go with an X, right? They're not receptive. All of us walk around, we're not receptive. But our job as professionals is to be able to communicate effectively, to move them from the no frame to the possibility and moving forward. So how to set the power frames and pre-frames. How many of you guys would like to learn how to set up a powerful frame? Like setting up a beliefs in the client's minds. So they actually take action instead of just thinking about it and maybe this is not right for me. So imagine to be able to put themselves into the future. So for example, in the listing presentation, for example, you can give certain phrases, and we'll give you guys the phrases when you come to the academy. So when actually you set an appointment, it's not a matter of you coming in pre-listing, right? Some of us, think about those transactions in a pre-listing presentation. Once you come into the academy, there's no pre-listing. You come straight and you just list. So that is a pre-frame, and setting up the powerful frame is actually working with them at a deeper level. And working on the objections with the clients is highly, highly important, because this is a critical stage where the client is actually moving from the no to the maybe to the yes with you. And remember step number 4, when we are like this? Now, the next step is number 6. How many of you guys would like to actually learn how to connect and anchor their needs, wants, criteria to the services that you provide and to yourself? Imagine that. How many of you guys would like to learn how to actually anchor yourself, your product, your brand to the clients with 30, 60, 90 seconds from the minute that you meet them, from the minute that you present your product or they come to see you in your office? So we give scripts in the academy. We'll also give scripts, which is objection handlers. How many of you guys have had tremendous amount of ammunition from other coaching companies, 40, 50 objection handlers? In the academy, we only have 4. So I'm so excited for all of you guys to attend, because you guys are going to have all these tools. We're going to give you all these tools when you come to the academy. Like, some people are very good closers, right? But sometimes they build up the client, but then they become very timid, especially if the client is giving them a little bit of resistance. So how many of you guys would like to learn how to overcome those objections? That have that mindset that with the certainty that you're going to come in and resolve any issues, answer all the questions, and you're going to assume the sale. You're actually going to just take control on that. And with that, let's turn it over.
Awesome. Great job, Veronica. Yes. I always remember when we do our seminars, I'm going to take the spotlight up here real quick. I always remember when we do our seminars and you do that exercise where you grab someone from the audience and and you say, give me a high five, and you purposefully miss their hand. And then they're kind of perturbed by that because they want to flush it. And then you always say to them, look, what if when you spoke to me, you found out my deepest wants, my deepest needs, my deepest values, which is what's most important to me, my criteria, my emotions. And if you found out all that stuff, that if you communicated to me on that level of what's most important to me, I'm going to pay attention. By the way, guys, it's called the law of vanity. The law of vanity states that people like to talk about themselves. I'm not going to say 100%, but I'm going to say about 97% of the population likes the conversation to be about them, their own wants and their own needs. So this is powerful, powerful, guys. I know that when we go networking, sometimes we meet people and they're so preoccupied with selling, pitching. You know, one could say they come up to you and they give you their business card. It's almost like they come up to you and they just like vomit all over you, their whole everything about them, instead of just taking a step back and asking the right questions and getting to connect with you. So that's what this is about. You know, when we go deep with our clients, when we find out what makes them tick, we find out about their psychology, we get beneath the surface and we find out what is their, what's their why they want what they want. Then we're able to communicate to them on a different level. So I think that's amazing. So I am now going to turn it over to the incredible, the amazing owner of Century 21 Showcase, Jeff Stoffel, and I'm unmuting him, and I'm going to spotlight him. Owner of Century 21 Showcase, Jeff Stoffel. I think I did it good. Spotlight, here we go.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. I'm joining you guys from the Hyatt in Orange County. I'm actually doing some learning on my own. I'm at a super conference of the Craig Proctor organization, and I'm going to be here for 4 days, getting some intense learning and some relearning and some education. So learning is fabulous. I love learning. The only thing that's better than learning is actually implementing, and that's actually more fun. So the seventh slide, the seventh step, is assuming the sale and ask for the commitment. Assuming the sale does not mean for you to arrogantly go out on an appointment unprepared. It means you go in over-prepared. You master up every bit of confidence that you can. You're the boss, you own it, whatever own it means, and you take control of the situation. So I am going to ask you guys a question though. And after I ask the question, I'm going to be silent for a few seconds. And the reason is I really want you to ponder and wonder about the question. So the question is, if you go into a presentation and you are not assuming the sale, that means you're not assuming you're going to get whatever it is you're selling, you're going to get the contract inked or whatever it is that whatever you're doing. So if you're not assuming the sale, what does that presuppose that you're actually thinking? Exactly. And you're probably all coming up with the same thing. You're just assuming that you're not going to get the sale, that it's not going to happen. And how does that feel? How does that feel knowing you're going into the appointment, and how does that make you feel? Yeah, it makes you feel like crap. It makes you feel horrible. It makes the other doubts start creeping in and taking over what's going on in your physiology. And Dave was talking about that earlier, your physiology and sensory acuity. Well, your clients that you're meeting with, they also can see that. They recognize that in your physiology. And there's a phrase that says, what you're feeling is what you're projecting. And that's very, very real. So what's critical and what we'll be teaching you is how to, in our workshops, actually how to assume the sale. And with confidence, ask for the commitment. Because it's really just a lack of confidence why people will go through a whole presentation and forget to even ask for the business. And it's not funny, it's sad. It really does happen though. It really does. So it's just that lack of confidence that stops people from closing. I remember years ago, my wife and I were out in, gosh, I don't remember what city, that's not important. We were looking for some furniture. It was a dining room set. And at the time, we were first married, so it was a long time ago. And it was a magnificent dining room set that she wanted, with 12 chairs and all the leaves and just really, really, really nice. And she wanted that to be our major piece of furniture. So we were out looking, and she identified what she really wanted. So it was before the internet, so we actually had to go store to store to store. So she found out what she wanted. She liked the table, she liked the chair, she liked the fabric. And so I said, oh, thank you, Lord. Now we don't have to keep going to any more stores. So I look around for a salesperson, I find one, and she comes up. And for a while, I thought it was funny just because I'm in sales. So I thought, okay, let me just play with this lady. But she started asking me, do you want to see other tables? Do you want to see other chairs? Do you want to see other fabrics? And she kept going on and on and on. And I told her that we've been looking and we like this set. And she kept going on and on and on. And she could have saved us all a lot of time. Finally, I had to say, stop. We want to buy this one. Order it the way we just told you. And we're done. And she was like looking at me incredulously, like, whoa, did I offend you? And I said, no. This is what we want. Don't try to talk us out of it. So that poor person, I doubt if she had a real successful career in sales, because she didn't ask us any questions. She wasn't reading our body language or our ability that we wanted to go. She was assuming that we're just going to come look and going to walk out. And actually, it came close. We almost did walk out, except for my wife loved the set. We still have it today. So step number 8, you're also going to learn at the training is how to frame, reframe, and overcome obstacles and roadblocks. Now, any of you that are in sales, we all have roadblocks, and we have to dance with those concerns through effective NLP language and communications. Now, I prefer the concept of, instead of overcoming objections, I like the dancing with the concerns. And what we'll teach you is that when you communicate from the heart, I mean really from the heart, not any bullshit. You're really, it's sincerity, it's real. You're speaking from the heart. You're offering your client, no matter what your product is, you're offering value. And it's obvious that you're not just focused and concerned about the money. And when you can do that, amazing things will happen. Now, there's quite a few concepts on this slide, and we don't have enough time today to go deeply into each and every one of them. But I did want to point out a few key points. And if you guys remember what Veronica was sharing with you just moments ago about the critical need to ask questions, and then ask the right questions. That's what we're going to teach you and actually give you what the right questions are to ask in any situation, so that you can really focus about their wants, their needs, their values, their emotions, the criteria, and really the concerns. Because quite often what we might perceive in sales as objections, is they're just sharing their concerns. And that's real, as frustrating as it might be. And if you skip what Dave Patty was saying and you skip what Veronica was saying, then you're going to have all sorts of problems on closing, because you haven't done your job. You haven't done the 5-step process. And that's what you'll learn in our teachings. Now, 3 of the biggest concerns, doesn't matter what industry you're in, that many prospects or customers have, or in any industry, is that there's not enough money, not enough time, and I need to think about it. Those are very, 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 very common obstacles or concerns that we need to deal with. And we're going to teach you how to use the power of questions rather than lecturing or dictating or telling the prospect or client what's important and why it's important. We're going to help guide you. We're going to help you learn to guide your clients with heart and with sincerity to your desired outcome. Now, and a very, very important note, if you're real about this, there's going to be times where when you get there, you have the power to close them And there's going to be times where the best thing for you to do is not. And you're going to need to tell them, you know what, in my opinion, I don't think this is good for you. And that actually reminds me of a few years ago, an agent came to me and said, hey Jeff, would you help me meet with this client and talk to them about selling their house? And they keep saying yes, and then they say no, and they're vacillating back and forth. And I think you could get them to sell the house. So we all got together and met. And after about 30 minutes, I talked them into not selling their house. And it just was the right thing for them. Now, my agent was furious with me, just unbelievably furious. Interesting, though, is she's still with me today. The point, though, was, and we didn't do it because of this. There was no guarantee that good things were going to happen. But what happened out of it was this client was so grateful that we weren't typical salespeople and tried to force them into something bad for them, that they ended up referring my agent so much business over a 5-year period. She made over $100,000 in commissions on that, convincing somebody not to buy or sell. And eventually that person ended up selling the house too. So that was something that they made a client for life. And it really was a really big deal. Now, also in regard to this same slide, when you come to the workshop, you're going to learn how to use these correct questions and effective NLP language. And you'll discover that really, if you do your presentation the way we teach you, the majority of the time, there's nothing to dance with at the end. You do your presentation properly, and you go everything what Dave and Veronica said. At the end, all it's going to be is, okay, great, here, let's go, let's sign. And it's going to be that simple. We do have some really good objection handlers that you can deal with, and the reframes and all that are very, very powerful to put them in a different situation, take the same set of facts and help them understand it from a different standpoint. However, what you are going to find, I just guarantee you this, if you follow this process, instead of getting to the end of your presentation and now you feel like you're arm wrestling with the people to get them to close, it's going to be this smooth, easy, flowing, happy transaction or closing. And that's where all the referrals come from. Because you arm wrestle them and they close the deal with you. They're not going to be happy. They're not going to feel good about you, even if you did a great job. And this is what we teach is what's going to get you referrals. So something to be very, very, very positive about and be excited about, because I can guarantee you this will make you money, and it'll make you some happier clients, happy for life. They'll be referring you all sorts of business. It's very powerful. Now, what I'd like you guys to do is a serious question. Who wants a smoother, friendlier sales presentation situation where before you're even done with your presentation, they're saying to you, this is what I want. I want this. I want you. Let's go. Let's go forward. Let's get this thing started. Who would like that? I'm sure you all would. So if it's something that you would like, in the comments section, please put in there, let's do this with a happy face. Just type in, let's do this with a happy face, because that's the comment that you're going to start getting no matter what your product or service is. People are going to start just saying to you, let's do this. And it could be in the middle of your presentation. So it's very exciting. Now, the 9th slide is you're going to learn how to inspire your clients into action. This is step 9. And on this slide, you're going to see that at our trainings, you will easily master this concept and no longer, I think I lost a connection for a moment. See if that was me or you guys.
Yeah, hold on one second. We lost the slide. I'm going to pull it back up.
Okay, well, the slides.
Slide number 9.
9.
There we go. There we go.
Fire action right now. And this is also one of my favorites. It seems like I have a lot of favorites, but at the trainings, you're going to easily master this concept and no longer have those clients needing to think about it. Or maybe worse, wandering off to another person or sales rep at another company selling the same type product you sell. Because studies do prove, and I think Kaya may have mentioned this, maybe he didn't, is that the longer it takes a prospect to make their mind up, so you're in a moment where they're wanting to move forward, but then they pause and delay. If it takes longer than 30 days, then you might as well figure it's toast. You've lost them, and that's not what you want. So you really need to learn these skills to help them make movement. And it's a very what's the word? It's a very powerful, but yet you need to respect the responsibility that you have, the power, because it can be used to encourage people to move in a direction that they maybe is not best for them. So you need to treat it with respect. And so for really what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making sure that they understand that when is now the time to take action. Now, the phrase that I just used was an example of an embedded command. And those are some things you guys are going to learn at the workshop, embedded commands. And when used correctly, embedded commands can move someone from hesitation or a stuck state into action. Remember Patty was talking earlier about different states, getting them into a state. And you want to get your clients into a resourceful state, a excited state, a moving forward state. And that's where the embedded commands can really be useful. Now, since you guys know it'll be fun to learn how to use embedded commands, now is the time to type in a few more happy faces to show that you really are going to get excited and have fun with it. And guys, you really will have fun with embedded commands, because it's language that is just fun to do. It's fun to play with. So enjoy that. It's something that I hope that you come to the workshop and play with and have some serious fun. And by the way, these we're spending a lot of time talking about how it's going to make you more money, and that's important. That's really important. But it's also going to help your relationships. It's going to help your health. It's going to help your spirituality. All the things that you guys are working on that you'll have access to in NLP are going to help all aspects of your life. So I just wanted to reinforce that. Step number 10 is future pacing. Now, this one really is my favorite. It really is. It's something that you guys are going to be able to use in multiple different ways, and that our training will teach you exactly what to say to a client or a prospect that keeps them totally engaged, totally committed, excited to do business with you. Now, many industries, they have laws in place that require a cooling off period. A 3-day cooling off period is not uncommon. That encourages really for them to think about it. And then they go home and they talk to a bunch of negative people, and then you get that phone call and they cancel. So what we teach you guys is really critical, because it'll significantly reduce your client's buyer's remorse, which, guys, that's going to make your clients feel better about their purchase. And if they feel good about their purchase, they're going to recommend you. Or if you're selling, we're in real estate, but if you're selling something else that you have multiple transactions with a client and they feel good about their purchase, they're going to buy more from you. So it's a very critical thing. It's not something to take lightly. And so what I want to make sure you guys understand is that when we teach you these things, it's going to increase your income and save you time. Now, why is that? How could that happen? Because you got a happy buyer? What's that going to do? Well, the reason it's so critical is if you get somebody that cancels, you got to go out and find another prospect. Or if you've kept them as a prospect, you got to spend hours and hours and hours trying to re-get them engaged and back in the fold on. If it's houses, you got to go out and show them more houses. If it's cars, you got to talk to them more about cars. Whatever your product is, it doesn't matter. So if they suffer from buyer's remorse and you're not able to solve that problem at the point of purchase, then this is going to cost you a large amount of dollars and a heck of a lot of time, which also gets back to dollars. So that's just something that you guys need to really jump on. It needs to be one of the first things that you engage and try to master, because It really, really is critical. Now, you guys probably remember earlier, because it was just a couple minutes ago, I discussed the three common concerns that consumers have. Not enough money, not enough time, and they need to think about it. So what I just went over is, guess what? This is going to make you more money, give you more time, and it's a no-brainer. So don't even think about it. Just come to the training, get excited about it. We're going to give you an actual script that you'll be able to use at the key moment when they've signed the contract. And it's kind of like there's a lull now. They're, oh, okay, I've signed the contract. Now what happens? I got to wait a few days. Now they go home and they're going to talk to Negative Nelly or somebody. And what you're going to empower them with are the resources that when they leave your office or wherever you're at, they're going to go home back to the rest of their family, people, friends, everybody else, all the people that want to put in their 2 cents and help out. And you're going to empower them with information that's going to give them the tools to have responses. And it's a very casual way. It's not like you're going to make a huge deal out of it. It's very subtle, and you're just going to provide them some info that will make their situation much, much better. Now, most people, and by the way, it's fun to do, guys. Most people in sales have had that dreaded phone call at some time in the past. I can't think of any that we've had in our office in a long time, at least the agents that are using these tools, where they've filled out the paperwork, they've made all the hard work, they've spent hours and hours and hours, and then the client goes home and the phone call comes in saying, hey, I talked to you fill in the blank, my dad, my mom, my brother, my boss, whomever, and they told me I really am making a mistake and I should think about it. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel and do something else. And you're like, oh my gosh, the air goes out of your balloon. So just so you guys know, when you master this, you're going to start getting phone calls like this one that I'm going to tell you about, that we get all the time, where the person calls you up and says, hey, guess what? What? You were exactly right. When I went home and I was so excited about my purchase and I started telling everybody, I had all these people telling me, well, you sure this, you sure that, you just trying to just poke holes in my balloon and rain on my parade. And I so much appreciated that you as a salesperson warned me about it and took the time to tell me that this was logical, it's normal, and it's going to happen. And so really what I was able to do, especially with my dad, who I respect, is I was able to be prepared and equipped and not shocked. And I was able to have a good conversation with him and tell him what my reasoning was and what my logic was. And you know what? It's fine. I'm thrilled. Everything's good. And I just really am thrilled that you cared enough about me to prepare me for that type of event. So there's way, way, way more, guys, on all these slides than what we touched on in our brief time period. I do wish for you amazing things, and I know this will happen. I don't think Dave touched on it on this one, but I got to tell you guys, Dave has worked with me for 25 years, and he's doubled his income, all because of these tools, and I know they'll work for you too. So, Kaya, back to you.
Awesome. That was amazing. Jeff Stoffel in the house. Let's give Jeff a round of applause. Kick butt. Yes. I'm going to unmute our panelists right here. Unmute all. So guys, all of you are unmuted. And I just want to hear from Jeff McGrail real briefly, and I want to hear from Sean Arnold. The 10 steps, as you're listening to the 10 steps, we'll go with you, Sean, first. What are your, how have you liked using the 10 steps? And how has it transformed your communication, your life, and your business, Sean?
Well, I think I really enjoy, and I've always enjoyed, talking to clients about their wants, their needs, their values, their criteria, and their emotions. but taking NLP really made me very conscious of it. And it gave me the tools to be able to take the things that they were saying to me and showing them how the product or the service that I am offering to them will actually help fulfill those wants, those needs, those values, those criteria, and those emotions. And I'm able to be much more deliberate about it so that I can stop wasting their time. So it's wonderful. It gets all of these things at the top of mind, and we become very deliberate in how we communicate with them. I think it's wonderful.
Fantastic, Sean. Yes, and I'd also like to hear from Jeff McGrail. How's it going, Jeff?
It's going well. It took me a while to get on. My internet is down, so I'm on my hotspot right now. So.
And you're here now.
Well, that's TMI.
All right, so Jeff, I know you do a lot of events. You do hosting. You do red carpet introductions. You're also an attorney. You're also an actor, and you're also an amazing Success NLP master coach. The 10 steps that we're covering today in effective communication. What has that been like for you in transforming your communication, taking you to the next level as well?
Well, some of the things that I found, all of them, those tools are fascinating because they work, and you learn about them and then you do them and they go, wow, it worked. And that's so exciting when I'm perhaps I've really learned how to get better rapport with people, and I might be interviewing somebody on a red carpet, and it's the ability then to make them feel right at home and happy to be there. And when they leave, they're happy when they leave. There's that kind of thing. And in buying strategies, I find that fascinating. And I've had a few friends that maybe had a buying strategy that wasn't that successful. They were buying too many things. And we just did a little adjustment of the strategy, added in a little bit of, is this the right thing for me? And once you got that into the strategy, all of a sudden now they were buying things they really needed and wanted, as opposed to, gee, I have this feeling I'm going to buy, So, but through all of those things are spectacular. And when you see them working, it warms the cockles of your heart.
Awesome. All right, so let's finish up. Absolutely, you guys. So I'm super excited. We've got our 6 Success NLP master coaches in the house, holding it down, coming to you live from wherever we're coming from, transforming your life, giving you the wisdom, the insights, the study of human excellence to take your life to the next level. Now, with your permission, I'm going to share one bonus step. So we've got 10 steps, yes, and I'm going to share one bonus step just for the last couple minutes, because it's one of the most important steps that one can master and one can learn. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my slide real quick. Let me mute the speakers real quick so we don't get any feedback in the background. Mute all. There we go. Okay, cool. And then I'm a spotlight here. Spotlight, perfect. And I'm going to share screen. And I'm just going to share the last step. Okay, my slide is not moving. Okay, hold on. I love this. This is so much fun. Playing around with gadgets. Huh. That's totally strange, okay? Well, maybe I'm going to share it with you without the PowerPoint, because guys, we don't need a PowerPoint when we are rock stars. We don't need it. I feel like I'm gonna go dip in this ocean and come back, and I'm gonna come back with this amazing energy. All right, so how many of us have ever heard of the law of commitment and consistency? So I want you to write this down. This was actually the last thing I was gonna share with you. And I'm really bummed out I can't share this, but I'm gonna try it one more time. Okay, for whatever reason, my thing is freezing. Okay, cool. So I want you to write down the law of commitment and consistency. And what the law of commitment and consistency states is that little yeses lead to big yeses. So this is the bonus step. So this is kind of like step 11. Little yeses lead to big yeses. Whenever you're having a sales conversation with anybody, you absolutely, absolutely, absolutely need to gather up as many little yeses as you can. It's almost like playing a game of basketball, right? Would you want, if you were playing a game of basketball or the game of football or the game of anything, would you want to throw a Hail Mary to try to win the game? Or would you want to shoot a ball in basketball that's so far behind the three-point line, the odds of it going in are very small? Would you want to do that? Or would you want to be right under the rim and just do an easy layup? So we're talking about getting those little yeses that lead to big yeses. So we're going to do a quick exercise. Yes? Awesome. All right. So I want us all to, wherever you are, sitting at your desk. By the way, what you're going to get from this experience is going to be directly proportionate to what you put in. Yes? Okay. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So I want you to get your hands like this, and I want you to rub your hands like this together. Rub your hands like this, rub your hands like this. Actually, wait. I'm going to take myself off spotlight so we can see all the amazing coaches do it. Speaker view. All right. So you're going to grab your hands like this, rub your hands together like this. Now, with the amount of intensity that you want to get a big yes in your business and life and make a big commission, I want you to say yes. Now go. Yes, 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 yes. Now say no. Whoa, did you see the energy drop? Did you see the energy drop when I said now say no? Did you see that Miss Veronica was like, did you see Jeff Stoffel was like, they kind of stopped. Now, my question is, when you were doing this yourself and I said no, did you also slow down your rubbing, right? And did I ask any of the panelists to stop rubbing their hands? No, all I said was the word no. Now, how many of us have ever heard of Deepak Chopra? How many of us have ever heard of Bob Proctor? Those are some of my mentors way before I got involved in neuro-linguistic programming, which is NLP, which is the study of human excellence. And Deepak Chopra was speaking with Bob Proctor and Deepak says, Kaya, there's no separation between the mind and the body. He says the mind, it's almost like every single cell in your body eavesdrops and listens to the conversation you have in your mind. So that's why when you have the word called yes in your head, your body starts to move faster with more excitement, with more anticipation. And when your mind hears the word no, and every single cell in your body is listening to the internal dialogue of the word no, you actually start to slow down. And in some cases, you shut down. The vibration of no has a dense energy. And by the way, for the up to the age of 5 years old, most kids have heard the word called no more than any other word, maybe even more than their name, the word no. They've been programmed with the word no. So I don't want us to leave us on that no. Let's get back to that yes energy. Let's do this, rub your hands, and go. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. Give each other a high five. Bam, 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 bam. You guys did great. By the way, what am I suggesting here? Why did I bring up this last step, this bonus step 11? Because before you go into that appointment, what are you hearing in your brain? Are you assuming that you're going to get the yes? Or are you thinking you have doubt, fear, worry, concern, and you're worried about getting the answer no? Whatever you have in your brain going on before you walk into that key meeting, before you get on that stage and do that big speech, it's going to affect the way you stand, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you breathe. It's going to emit an energy to your clients, your customers, your partners, and then they're going to feed back whatever energy you're giving them, right? So this is important because what you're going to do is you're going to yes condition yourself before you go in every meeting that you don't hear anything but yes. You are almost so focused on that yes, you're almost like a missile finding its destination. You'll never stop till you get to your destination. All right, so the final step is energy. It's about yes, energy. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to do that as an exercise before you go in. I wouldn't suggest you do it right in front of your client, because your client's going to think you're a little loco at Acapulco. But what I'm going to suggest you do is maybe when you're in your car, you're yourself, by yourself, you're going to like focus on that yes word. All right, so I don't think my slides are working at this point for me to bring this back up. Oh, you know what? No wonder why. I got it. No wonder why. I was clicking on the wrong thing. Don't you love technology? I just love technology. All right. So I'm going to finish up real quick here. So we got that covered. We just covered that. It's about energy. So in my last little thing. So December 9th and 10th, you guys, is our Success NLP Sales and Leadership Mastery Training in Los Angeles. You definitely want to get registered for that. We are going to be a sold out venue here in Los Angeles, and we're going to transform a lot of people's lives. And you definitely want to be here. Why? Because you're going to learn the 10 steps that Dave Patty, Veronica Larrea, Jeff Stoffel just went over. They gave an overview of them. You're going to learn how to master them. Today, what we taught you was why they're important and what they are, but we haven't actually taught you how to do them. So you're going to learn how to master them and how to do them in this 2-day training. Okay, so next week, we have another amazing Thursday training, and we're going to be covering the 5 principles of success. What are the 5 principles of success? And for you to operate in a place of excellence. So we're going to be covering the 5 principles of success, which I believe I've got something out there on YouTube on an Oprah recap show. I've had some amazing reviews of this specific lesson. We're going to be bringing it to you live next Thursday, November the 2nd, same time, 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So for those of you that want to take massive action and join us at our training, I strongly urge you to give us a call on our toll-free number, 844-PURE-NLP. That's 844-787-3657. If you have any questions for any of our coaches, shoot out a question to Dave Patty at Dave, or to at Veronica, or to Jeff Stoffel, because we have two Jeffs. We've got Jeff Stoffel and Jeff McGrail. If you have a question for Sean, at Sean. If you have a question for me. That being said, y'all, we're super excited, and I'm gonna unmute the speakers, unmute all, so we can all, there you go. We can all give you some love. Awesome, you guys, great lesson today.
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you next Thursday.
Make sure you share this video with Facebook Live and let people know that we're coming at you with amazing information, amazing tools to help you make more money, get more clients, increase your bottom line, have an even better life every Thursday, 6 p.m. And if you want to be on our show, or you have some opportunities that you want to let us know about, make sure you find us on Facebook, or you can call that toll-free number and let us know. All right? We love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Getting from your point A to your point B. Let's get to our point B. All right, you guys.